Ese es el sonido de alguien que perdió...
Mi tarjeta de débito.
Sí, su tarjeta de débito.
¿Dónde la dejé?
I've become literally unkillable in Expedition 30.
Dorian, I would love to say that there's a good reason for why I had to do that. Why this is reset of the stream. But the actual reason is because I'm stupid. If you'll excuse me real quick. I forgot to angle the fan towards me. What up, Longevay? Help you. What's going on? What type of help do you need? Friend made me download Palia. Oh, nope, can't help with that. Y'all have fun. What up, Mothman? Yeah, it has obviously been a time.
Don't fall victim to Art the Clown.
If that's not obvious.
Haunted house like nothing you've seen before.
No, I'm good. I am all good on a Terrifier haunted house. Universal Orlando Halloween Horror Nights. I am so very all good. I'm like discount all good warehouse up in here with how all good I am. Yes, Gideon? Huh? All right. I'm sitting today because I feel like it. Just being honest. I have the energy to be back, but also, I'm sitting. That is the point of an adjustable standing desk, is sometimes I will be standing, and sometimes I will be not standing. And that's it on that. Today I'm already gonna have to deal with balls. With 97 balls at a time. But I'm gonna have to have 4 separate instances. You good? What? Come on. Come on. Come on. Up. Up. Oh boy. I'm gonna have to do 4 instances of 97 balls. So I'm going to have to deal with 388 balls. That's a lot of balls. Do I need to keep saying balls? No, but I'm gonna keep saying balls. It's funny. He's fucked up. All right. Those are rookie numbers. Dorian, I truly love and appreciate you. I cannot stress, however, how much I am not attempting to get any balls off with people. Enter stream. I'm not attempting to get any balls. No. Not to get any balls off. I said I'm not attempting to get into a balls off. Because in this stream, I'm going to be handling no less than 388 balls. I have no doubt you will clear this handedly. Club ball training is nothing to you. Yes, the club ball training master, as has been established in the deep lore. truly some of the earliest of the Anoriand. Did I have to say it that way? No. But also, yes, is the thing. All right. No! What is this? Okay. Just getting everything up and running so that I can pop over to the challenge game screen. You and I both operate on Roger Rabbit rules. If it's funny, we have to do it, and we can only do it if it's funny. Correct. Correct. Okay, cool. That's ready. Sweet. Okay, cool. Close that out. Bam. All right. Let's... Belated happy birthday to Yoko Shimomura up in this bitch. One of the goats for this soundtrack. For several soundtracks, but this soundtrack among them. Parasite Eve, the game that dares to say, what if we made a JRPG set to club bangers? I personally feel it's worth enjoying, but was there a reason I had to leave and come back? No, I was going to go put the tool back in storage. I might still do that. I was supposed to do it after the last stream, before starting here. I'm just going to do it now. I know it's annoying, it probably seems pointless, but I will basically, the way the hospital works is once I get thrown into the basement, I do not get to leave until I clear the basement. Having every possible slot available to me for inventory management is useful. Do you want to come hang out with me again, sir? Are you just like, do you just want to take him? You just want to take him? Come! Why to? Why to? I know. Come here. Hey! Up. Okay, you're gonna chill up there? You good? Okay. Alright. So if you remember last stream, we went through... What? What? Bro. Come here. Okay. Say hello to the people. Say hello to the people. Mwah. Okay. All right. We have our fan service here with us now. Sir, I swear to God, if you start growling at me again... Okay, you just wanted to turn around and lie down here. Okay, cool. He's currently lying down. He's chilling. We're good. I need to get a puppo cam for stream. Obviously. The highest in high tech. This is a medicine too? Thank God. That is worth grabbing. Cool. The ammo's obviously not, but you know. Just in case. Store item. We're good. Cool. Sort. Cool. Alright, cool. Now we run. Right back to the hospital. So basically what's about to happen is you go to the hospital, you go to the elevator, and at the elevator, it's like, oh shit! Power goes out. You end up in the basement, and you have to clear the entire basement before you become able to leave the hospital again. Now, I got a partial power-up already in the form of the Club 2, which I am equipped with. I am going to get a further power up very soon. The original club had 9 power. The club 2 has 26 power. But it has an effect where whenever it hits, it has a chance to steal from an enemy, and it also halves our attack, which essentially drops it to 13 power. This is why we're going to be spending quite some time in the hospital. This is probably the most time-intensive segment of this challenge run, because there are 4 fights here that can normally be done very simply, but by doing them with a bit more time involved, you will be able to get several items. Most notably, you will be able to get a super tool. And a super tool will allow me to move the steal with attack having ability from my club 2 onto my club 1, fully unlocking its power, and thus making it so that I have a very noticeable power boost, which is goddamn near necessary because the Spider Brain might end up being the hardest boss in this run. So, I need to be very honest with you folks. I am hoping I clear the hospital in this stream. There is a very, very real reality where I do not even finish the hospital this stream. It is just a time-consuming ass segment of the game. So, just please bear with me. I am doing my best. Autopsy room is locked. So, I know we'll get through at least, I would say, 3 of the mixed men fights. Preferably 4 of the mixed men fights. If I can basically, I will for sure consider it an absolute win if I can get through all of the hospital and the mixed men fights and everything in it successfully, and only have the Spider Brain left. I come in here. I forgot to bring a spare spare piece of armor. Bro! Dog! I ain't doing this with you right now. I gave you attention. You ran away. That's not on me. It's not a me issue, that's a you issue. Damn it! Yes! Do you want attention, yes or no? I'm trying to give it to you. This is my stream, it's not your stream. I don't care. Come here. Up. No, you want to sit? Then sit. Stop yelling at me. Love you. Motherfucker, just be loud. See if I can take you out before. The power boost once I unshackle this thing from its ability is going to be fucking lovely. And I'm not really worried about losing the Steel Edition, because I can always just bring my Club 1 to steal things once I move the power over. No! Damn it! I almost got through clean. You know, here's the thing about Parasite Eve, right? is the question to why does this exist is just someone at Square Enix at the time had a real fucked up fetish for basically every single one of the enemies in this game. I don't judge, but I do acknowledge. We don't interrogate what that means about the polar bear with the spider arms. That means more fucked up fetish. Again, I don't judge, I do acknowledge. I'm not gonna judge you for your fucked up fetish, but I'm going to acknowledge you have a fucked up fetish. Oh, go to hell. Fly man. No! Okay, no! Okay. I gotta get rid of you because you're gonna be more annoying to dodge the poison spots of. Nope. Ho-ho! Oh, your boy still got it. I still got it. Damn. Damn. No! No! Whoo! Whoo! Oh, your boy still got it, baby! Please die. Nope. Nope. Damn. There we go. Okay, now we're just down to these guys. Totally manageable. Run. They've desynced their attacks from one another, which is actually really helpful. Okay. Nope. Son of a bitch. No, 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 no. Oh, oh, that was stupid of me. It was very stupid. You gotta understand, the problem with them is that their hits poison, and poison ticks add up really quick in this game. Cool. Run. Okay. Nope. Damn it! Oh, I don't... Shut the fuck up! Okay. I know they didn't talk, so shut the fuck up does not exactly make sense as a statement. I also know... Shut the fuck up. Bang. And then... Come on, come on. Kill it. Cool. Sweet. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Alright. That's another reason why this is the most time-consuming segment of the game, is because until you get the super tool, this is where your damage most lags versus the enemy's increasing power. Because I get the Club 2 unlocked here, and then from here it's like each segment, like in the next segment I get the Club 3. Following that, shortly thereafter, I get to unlock the power of the Club 3. Like, it's kind of a segment-by-segment thing. Here is the one scenario where it tends to lag relative to what's going on. Okay, got the key to the autopsy room. I'm gonna save. Cool. Come on. I know I could have interacted with that, but you need 2 fuses to get through there, and the other fuse is in the autopsy room. I could have sworn you could engage with one of these. I guess I was wrong. I could have sworn it was just like I thought there was a medicine there. Alright, this lets me into the autopsy room, and in the autopsy room there will be an annoying ass fight, which really kind of describes most fights in the club run. If I could just be honest about life. Like, there's very few fights in a club run where it's like, oh no, this is a really good, fun, enjoyable fight, worth my time, not frustrating. Okay, I need to abuse their own movement here. Damn it! Oh, it didn't damage, it didn't hit properly. Okay, this is why those bug dudes are the fucking worst. Because the view in this particular fight means they can basically stop you from having effective space to move. Cool. Run! Cool. No! Take you out. No. Okay. Is this enough to kill you? Is this a kill shot? Perfect. Cool. Alright. Now it's just focus fire on one of them until there's only one of them. And then you focus fire on the other of them until there is none of them. That is the math of how that goes. No, you son of a bitch! Oh, damn it. Nope, can't do it. Heal. Cool. Thank God. Okay, restores 30 HP. Perfect. Now I just need to not get caught in his fucking snots. Like, sorry for your sinuses, bro. Why are you making that my problem? Whew! Okay. Got a nice little level up there. Got some more medicines. I will need them. Trust me, I'm gonna need them. It is not all sunshine, lollipops, and rainbows everywhere. Inventory is full. Put the cure M. Got a tool, definitely need that. What up, Yami? Alright. This is why I went and put that tool back in storage. But I tell you. I was like, I'm going to need all the space I can get. Your inventory is full. Suck my dick! Discard a cure M, just so I have some spare space. Got the fuse too, which is necessary. Yeah, that's not a command, actually. You put in a command, and then just typed in what you want to see the command do. Oh, these fuckers. Oh, I gotta... Oh, there's more balls than just the other balls. Everything here is balls! A sentence I never want to say in my life, but is nonetheless true. Oh my god! That was so much damage. Okay, but the rat was, for obvious reasons, the most dangerous. Because its hits are so much stronger. Nope. Thing. Okay. I'm gonna heal too. Just get myself in slightly better shape. Nope. Nope. I'm gonna get hit. No! Woo! I needed the time I took, but I'm glad to be back. Thank you, Yami. I appreciate you. Boom. Okay, cool. You son of a bitch. Cool. And then kill. Nice. And now I can use a medicine 1. Get that. Clear an inventory slot and also heal up, but keep my PE fully available for the next fight. Blue card key, which I will need. Interact with anything else in here. Oh, there's a chest. Like to exchange. I'm going to exchange the offense +1 because I believe it's useless. Yes. Oh, thank God. This is actually really, really fucking useful. I will lose a little defense. I will gain status resistance, which is, for obvious reasons, useful here. But more importantly, I just care that I have 2 armor pieces now. Because that allows me to do the armor swap glitch against the mixed men. Which is the fight where I'm most likely to need to use it. Just because of the sheer length of it. Eventually, I am going to be healing so much that my shit slows to a crawl. Also, what is this thing you popped in here? Cool. Okay. Back. Cool. Key card no longer useful. Have you heard of Symphony of War, the Nephilim saga? Maybe? It sounds vaguely familiar. Machine gun, obviously useless, but I'm still taking every item I get, including all the guns, just in case there's anything I can do them. Okay. Off. Repair wire. Toggle power on. Certifuse. Certifuse. Cool. Now I have light again. There is one more fuse, but I got those 2, so. This is where it is. I'm gonna go back out and save. I'm gonna save before the mixed man fight to make sure I don't do too terribly. Because that is a fight that... It's not... It is about getting into a rhythm. But it can go sideways on you. And the fact that it can go sideways on you. That is the main reason why I wanted the extra spare suit of armor. Because at that point, I am now able to do the armor swap glitch, so I can keep my PE regeneration rate high enough that I don't have to worry. But it makes it so much longer. So I saved. Technically, I should have done this before saving, but it's fine. Like, so much for using the stairs, but you can come over here and get offense +1, which is not super useful, or in fact useful at all, but I got it. Here we go. Okay. Round 1, baby. I got 97 problems, and they're all fucking balls. Damn it. Let me get it first. Nice. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the next 30 fucking minutes. I have to kill 97 of these fuckers. Now, why do I have to do that? Simple. You get a different item drop in addition to, like, tons of experience and such. If you defeat all 97 that he throws at, he's gonna keep throwing them out, maxing out at 4 at a time. Nope. Damn it. Damn it. This one's gonna bounce towards me. Nice. This one. Okay. He's gonna keep doing that until we eventually take out 97 of them. And if we do it all, we get a shit ton of experience, but also, more importantly, we get a different item drop. 3 of them will be very useful healing items, and 1 of them will be the single most useful item we'll be getting out of this entire place, a super tool. So, it is time consuming, it is annoying, we will be here for a bit, but I promise you, if you want to do the Parasite Eve 2 No Guns run, this is an absolutely necessary part of the run. And we have to do this same fight 4 times. Not in this room, they're in 4 different rooms, but we have to do this same fight 4 fucking times. Hence, 388 balls. To say nothing of the balls of light from those rat monster things, or of the bloody poison balls from the water wigglers. This one's coming into me. There we go. All right. right. This is the... I'm just gonna heal up a bunch so that my PE can focus on regenerating. I'll take one more hit before I heal again. Okay, speaking of. Alright, what am I at here? What's the highest number I got? 10, 9, 11, 12. Okay, cool. I told you guys, this is what... Now I think you're starting to see why I said I will feel very good if I manage to finish the hospital this stream, but I'm not... I will count myself in good shape if that is the case. Over here. Cool. Damn. Knew it. This is where we gotta do some geometry and shit. Figure out bounce angles as they're coming. Thankfully, I'm good at math. Nice. Nope. This one's coming right at me. Damn! I misestimated the approach speed. Nice! Hell yeah. Oi. You want to be in either one of the corners, and it's not because it's like safer or whatever. This isn't like the DVD logo that bounces around on the TV screen and never actually makes it to the corner. Like, these fuckers will hit you. However, it's because it gives you the most time to see when something is bouncing towards you, and to be able to account for it coming near to try and hit. Because you have to account for the wind-up in the club. Coming at me. Nope. Never mind. But it is now. Got it. Hey. This one's coming in. Yeah! No. I was wrong on the bounce arc of that one. Damn. Man. If anyone's wondering, this, amidst all the ball hitting jokes, just the actual time-consuming nature of it, this was the segment I most dreaded about this entire run. And it wasn't particularly close. Like, there are other hard segments, don't misunderstand me. This was the one where I was like, I gotta redo this shit. Because it just takes forever. And there's really not any way to do the club run and speed it up. Like, technically, I guess there is one way, which is if you specifically... Because this one you don't have to fight right this second, I think. No, yes you do. This is where the fuse is. I was gonna say, like, fighting him such that you fight the super tool one as early in the process as possible, I guess, to increase your damage. If you can get it high enough that you can, you know, possibly one-shot the balls, that would save you some time. That's about it. But I don't even think you could. I believe they have 50 HP each. And, like, even fully unlocking the club, or the club 2, you're not, you'd have to put several, you'd have to way over level and put several points of power into the club 2, which is not very, it would be good for saving time, it would not be good for the long-term health of the run. Like, at all. When it comes to the balls, you just gotta, you know, take your time and be ball diligent. Just really work the balls, you know? Exactly, Bestie. You understand what's going on. You really got to take your time and really pay attention to the balls. That's how you can maximize your time here. That's how you're going to be most efficient. Son of a bitch. I got fucking surprised by balls. Never want that to happen to you. Damn. Bam! You might consider me something of a ball expert. I know my way around the balls. Son of a bitch. Okay. I do think this is going to be the first time I use the armor change glitch to my advantage, because, like, I am not trying to son of a gun! I had it dead to rights. I'm not trying to waste a whole bunch of medicine in this fight, if I can avoid it. I do, however, need to ball up and just, And use my medicine 1 here in a sec, though. Okay. Okay. Nice. Let's use, there's just 2 spare medicine 1s and 3. Alright, let me use my medicine 1. Nope, too early. Just trying to see if I can get him to throw it right into my waiting club. Okay. Cool. Alright. There's basically no reason to ever be at full PE. It is just inefficient for if you're not. Like, if you know you're gonna need more healing. Son of a bitch! Oh, can't wait for when I have to do this shit again. 3 more times. God, I love this challenge. So very fun. Yeah! No! Before you say something like, Josh, it's your own damn fault for choosing to do this challenge, and you've done it before, so you know exactly what you're getting into. Hey, do me a favor. Shut the fuck up. I'm very aware of my choices. I don't need you to remind me. Well, 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 if it isn't the consequences of my own actions. Sweet. Okay, this is where I... Yeah! Steph isn't here, so somebody must mock you. No, 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 that's actually a good point. You have 2 hands, just dual wield. I'm not saying this is the reason people accuse you of being a bottom. This doesn't mean I'm a bottom. This wouldn't imply I'm a bottom. This would imply I'm a masochist. That's a different thing. Okay? I just want the record to show. First of all, I'm not a bottom, but even if I was, this wouldn't be what proves that. This would prove that I like hurting myself, which I don't, for the record. Really need to cut you fuckers off at the pass before you take that one and run with it. Oh, perfect. Here we go. Yeah. Nice. Oh, damn, I thought it was gonna get caught up against me again. Okay. I'm officially gonna armor swap glitch for the first time in the run. Bam. Swap to the new vest. Cool. Oh, it's gorgeous. Notice my PE regeneration just started skyrocketing. That's why the armors I have avoided the armor swap glitch glitch as much as possible. It does feel a bit reductive. With this fight, however, I am totally okay with it because the reality... Okay. For a second, I thought that last hit just said 8, and I was like, did the glitch somehow lower my attack damage? Did I just nerf myself to make this whole thing take longer? No. Basically, if you swap your armor in the middle of a fight, your PE regeneration rate returns to what it is as if you have not used any moves yet. I'm sure someone can break down the reason why in the code. I'm sure I will learn the actual reason at some point. Like, what causes that particular glitch to happen, why it's tied to that, but that is what happens. So, because the thing is with PE as a balancing thing, there is not, you know, it's not like Final Fantasy where you have MP and then you have ethers, and so you can just restore MP that way or something along those lines. PE is, it doesn't even have a number, I mean, it has a number, but like, it's, how much everything costs is all kind of referential to your current level, the skill you're using, so on and so forth. So, the rate at which it grows is increased or decreased for various means, but the rate at which it regenerates and battle starts at one point and then slowly lowers from there the more you use PE healing abilities. Well, so you restore it slower and slower the more you need to use it, essentially. Kind of view it as like stamina, almost. The more you use your stamina, the harder it is to recover. Well, the armor swap glitch, just if you have a spare set of armor and you swap from one set of armor to another in the midst of battle, you reset to what your base PE regeneration speed is. I've been avoiding it as much as possible because, you know, the more you can avoid a glitch, the better. But, like, really in this fight, it is not really a danger, it is more of a thing of convenience. Because there are absolutely ways you can sit and dodge these hit balls. If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. But it makes it so that rather than having to, like, sit around purely for the purpose of restoring PE, I can just swap my armor and be able to restore it high efficiency again. This is just a long, drawn-out process, and the less long and drawn-out I can make it, the better. I am very much a proponent of patience is a skill, but patience is not a challenge. Like, if the only thing involved in your challenge is whether it's time-consuming, it's not actually a challenge, it's just a test to see how much free time the person has, and / or neurodivergence. Like, I'm not saying having patience can't be challenging, obviously it can, but my point is, a lot of times you'll see, you know, people argue, oh, like, you know, like, one of my favorites is the people who argue against EXP share in Pokemon. That it's so very wrong that the Pokemon Company defaults the game experience around having EXP share nowadays. And it's like, hey guys, you're not actually... What you're arguing about is you want other, like, you just want to be acknowledged as if you've completed some great challenge because you have the time. Because what's hilarious is it's not even something that's, like, really part of challenges anymore. Like, if you go watch, for instance, anyone doing, say, hardcore Nuzlockes, by and large, kind of the agreed upon standard of the format is people just hack in rare candies nowadays. Because nobody wants to see you fucking wipe to some random-ass Pidgey while you were absent-mindedly grinding. Because of the fact that you were using speed up to get through the most time-consuming part of it. We want to see you in, like, boss fights. So I'm not gonna sit here and worry about, oh, well, that's not really a challenge. Why? Because I didn't take as long as possible? Sorry that I have fucking kids, Jeffrey. I have a life. I have things I have to do and get to. Okay. For me, I like being under-leveled in Pokemon. Unfortunately, experience here hurts that, but I understand your point. Here's the thing. I understand people would... I think the optimal solution is the one they had in X and Y. And I do feel that that is what they should do, which is have EXP share, have it be gotten very early in the game, like ridiculously early, and just be able to toggle it on or off. Like, that right there was, to me, the best choice. If anybody really wants to challenge themselves further, it's available. But for the average person, that or even just right from off rip. Right from off rip. Go ahead and make it so that literally at start of the game, you can turn on or off the setting. And if someone wants to challenge themselves to make it harder, go for it. Obviously, that would be superior. But, like, at this point, they have made it clear we are going to build these games around the idea that you're expected to have EXP share, and so we're going to balance them around that fact as well. And I think part of it is they're essentially trying to build for a modern audience. Like, here's the thing. At the end of the day, you can complain about, like, kids' lack of attention spans, this, that, or the other, but the fact of the matter is so much quality of life has come out since we were children, and it matters. Because, like, games used to have a lot of challenge and time-consuming elements and so on and so forth because you had to get your values worth. If you're going out and buying a video game, like, it was usually some combination of filled with content and or hard. The hard was to get your money's worth, especially if it was, say, arcade-styled games, in which case it was to quite literally get your money's worth, as in to take the quarters from your pockets. But, that is the reason for games being Nintendo hard, is, they wanted kids to have rentals, not necessarily, that would then, actually they were built without the rental industry in mind, which is a whole different discussion, but, they wanted kids to be able to, get value out of the purchase. What up, Imperial? Nowadays, kids can literally get games for free. Say what you will about Fortnite. It's fucking free. yeah, you gotta pay for, like, V-Bucks to get skins and shit like that. But the game is free. There are games out there with plenty of content and things to do, where the only purchase is for optional content, which means if someone's paying for your game, you have to at least capitulate to them a little bit. Unless the point of your game is not capitulating, but even then there is a discussion to be had about how it still kind of is. Okay? FromSoft games being the notorious, well, they don't capitulate. Yes, they fucking do. They just do it in a different way. But if they didn't capitulate, Glamour Souls wouldn't be a thing. And so, no child wants to, like, listen, I love me some old school Pokemon. I love old school games in general. I can tell you now, one of the things I'm excited about with Dragon Quest 1 and 2 being remade is I want to see what Dragon Quest 1 is like in this remake format. Because I got to try it at PAX East this year. Got to do a little, like, hands-on test of it and everything like that. I never capitulate, I don't have kids. Exactly. But I got to try Dragon Quest 1 and 2 in hand at PAX East. And them giving it all of the same advantages and formula and everything as Dragon Quest 3 HD is going to go a long way towards making it look and feel and play so much nicer. But Dragon Quest 1 was originally just grinding the game. Like, that was the gameplay loop. You got access to a new place, you fought until you were strong enough to handle the enemies there, either in the form of leveling up, or in the form of having the right gear, or both, usually, to where you could then get some sort of item that allowed you to access a new place, rinse and repeat. And seeing how much of that remains will be a rather massive part of how that game is received. Dragon Quest 2, I think, will be fine basically regardless. Because there you already had a story that was, if not great, at least far stronger. You have multiple party members, which innately changes the division of things, right? Versus single party members. But all of that factors in. Like, there is a reason the turn-based JRPG, as a for instance, did not primarily evolve into an art form where you played a single character. Because having multiple, like, part of the joy of JRPGs is leveling up, is unlocking new abilities, is unlocking new weapons, is, you know, seeing how your characters grow, new classes, so on and so forth. Which is why Pokemon scratches that itch, is getting multiple different Pokemon, is seeing evolutions, is all of these things. I genuinely understand this came outside of what looks like geometry and balls. Well, that's because of the fact that you came in at the worst possible time for that. Because right now, it is just balls. Basically, I have to face 4 of these fuckers in this place. Each fight is gonna take me 35 to 40 minutes, depending on which one it is, my stats at the time, so on and so forth, the room it's in, all of that, which affects the geometry of the fight, and so on. But I have to, each one of these guys makes a maximum of 97 of these before they stop. And I have to kill every single one because you get a different item drop with each. 3 of them give me insanely useful healing items that I will need for later on in the run. The 4th one gives me the super tool, which is going to be absolutely necessary to upgrade my current primary weapon in a way that I otherwise do not have access to before the next boss, which is arguably the hardest boss in this entire challenge. So that's why I said buckle up, folks, because when it comes to the no guns challenge in Parasite Eve, the hospital is without question the longest part of the run. The hospital takes basically as long as like any 2 other segments of the run by itself. We're in the 70s, we're at least getting closer. Damn it. No! Do I hit it? Nope. Damn it. It wasn't the first time I played this. It was the first time I did this challenge run, which was the second time I played this. Yeah. The long and short of it is someone's like, check out the CBT master over here. And I was like, that's right. The club ball training master. Because I didn't know what the fuck CBT was. I am now painfully aware of what CBT is. Ironic that it's painfully aware, because you know who else is painfully aware of what CBT is? People who practice CBT. Painfully aware. Oh, Yoko Shimomura is one of the goats. I brought that up at the beginning of the stream. That is one thing that helps. Her deciding, they're being like, you know, Square coming to her, it's like, all right, Yoko, you know, we got this game. It is a very, very weird, unusual RPG with some unique mechanics. It follows a cop in New York City in Christmas, and oh, also, it's based on a book. Dude, you don't have to do anything crazy. And she was like, what if I came up with the fucking ultimate club banger as the battle theme? Okay. Okay, whatever you say, girl. We ain't gonna tell you what to do. Have you played 13th Age yet? It's much less hassle, so you can easily run a campaign. I have heard of it, I have not played it. Okay, we're up to 80, nice. Hell yeah. Nice. Mother. Bounce to me! You son of a bitch! Gotcha. Nice. Thank you, Phoenix. I appreciate you. How you doing today? Good to see you. Okay, get that one. And then if I really focus, I can get it to where it's like it's basically dead before he can do anything. Damn it! Gotcha. Nice. Casual reminder. What you are listening to right now for music was made by the same woman who gave us fucking Hollow Bastion. Yoko Shimomura did Parasite Eve. She did Kingdom Hearts. She did the Mario and Luigi games. GOAT. I don't consider her the GOAT. I will say, I do think she's probably objectively in the Mount Rushmore of video game composers. And more subjectively, if someone tells me, yeah, no, I feel she's the GOAT, I don't dismiss them out of hand. No. To be clear, Besta, what I'm saying is, I think when it comes to video game composers, I think it's very similar to the NBA, where there are basically three guys. In the NBA, not to get too sports ball with it, but people will disagree. If you're trying to be objective, however, I think when it comes to the NBA, you have exactly three guys you can make an argument for as being the GOAT. And that is it. But it has to do with what you value, it has to do with eras, it has to do with all of that. But there are exactly three dudes where you can credibly make an argument. If you're trying to make an argument that anyone other than Michael, LeBron, or Kareem is the GOAT, I don't consider it serious. The only other one, and even then it is free, there's only two actual others where I'm like, I disagree, and I actually don't even think you can make the argument. But I'm at least willing to listen. Is if someone said Shaq, and their argument was he had the single most dominant stretch in the history of the sport. It's like, okay, if that is what I think you're objectively wrong for reasons, but I will... basically, Shaq has the argument that he might be, pack one, pick one, so to speak, of if you could have any one given player for one game at the peak of his powers, knowing he was fully healthy, who you got? He might be the number one pick. Over Jordan, over LeBron, over Kareem, over anyone. The only other person who, again, I don't think you can make the objective case, but we'll talk it out, is Steph. And that is quite literally, if your argument is, it is a game about putting a ball in a hoop, and he is the single greatest in the history of the game at putting the ball in the hoop. All right, cool. Again, I think you're wrong. I'll listen. For me, music is across a span. Who can make the most variety, quality that doesn't degrade? Oh, of course, 100%. So can deliver a straight-up heart-wrenching bangers while battling cancer. Like David Wise made the most loved movie soundtrack of all time, but he doesn't have enough songs to make. Correct. That's why my point is, I don't think there is an objective GOAT. Because there are a couple of people who I feel you have the distinction between. I do feel there is a limited list of people who I'll listen to the argument. I think Yoko Shimomura is on that list. I think Koji Kondo is on that list because that man, I'm sorry, he made he made tons of great music, but at the end of the day, he made the Super Mario Brothers theme. You made the Super Mario Brothers theme. You made arguably the single most influential piece of music in the history of the medium. You made tons of great music, but your peak is quite literally, arguably, the peak in terms of longevity. I think Nobuo Uematsu is up there. Yup, here's the thing. When you get to the last few... Oh, it's 96 balls, not 97 balls. I did my math wrong. When you get to the last few, the balls get huge. You really got to work these last few balls, you know? That's when you know you're almost done with the balls, because the balls get really full. Yeah, Soken has made several amazing songs. Not just for Final Fantasy XIV, he's done 16, what have you. I don't know that I'd put him in the... I think as of right now, I'd put him just outside of the GOAT conversation, because to me, I think longevity is really important. It is the exact same reason why, like, if you're just talking quality of song, and that's it, and longevity didn't factor in, I would consider Yuzo Koshiro higher up on the list. Because I think that the uniqueness of sound involved in, say, Streets of Rage soundtrack is worth acknowledging. But I think longevity factors in when you're talking about the greatest to ever do it, right? Soken has been doing it for a minute, but just not long enough that I would say GOAT. Soken I kind of view since, yes, but I'm talking, Soken's going up against people who've been doing it even a decade or a decade and a half before that. I would view Soken, again, to keep the NBA metaphor going, I would view Soken the same way I view Magic Johnson. He is outside of the GOAT conversation. He is probably the greatest outside of the GOAT conversation. It's like he's in a group where it's like him, Grant Kirkhope. Because I think the GOAT conversation I would view as like, the argument would be between Nobuo Uematsu, Koji Kondo, Yoko Shimomura, and then I would say Yasumi Matsuno. And then, you're right, it's not the man's fault. I didn't say otherwise. It's not like a shot at me saying you're not the greatest yet. It doesn't mean he can't get there. I think if he continues to do as great as he's doing across the width and breadth of the next 10, 15 years, where several of those others, like the people ahead of him, have stopped making music and he can close that gap, yeah, I'm willing to entertain that discussion. Which I think is a testament to him. That's why we came here. This motherfucker right here. I cannot stress to you how important this bitch is. Does he have variety? I genuinely don't know. He can shatter your soul, but he can make you dance. Oh, 100%. 100%. No questions asked. Soken is a phenomenally talented, like, music producer. There is zero question about it. He does basically all the music for FF14. I'll give you a couple examples in just a sec, Besta, just so you can get kind of an idea of the range of music this man has made. Sweet. And with that, no, wait. I want to go back in that room. Don't worry, I don't have to do that fight again. The reason why you have to do all 97 balls and everything when you fight them is each mixed man is a spiked encounter that is a one-off. Once you beat it, it does not respawn. Enemies will respawn. I'm gonna get into another fight, but it won't be against a mixed man. Pause. That's what it is. The super tool is one time only. No, I'll go ahead and throw some links in. Or I'll go ahead and do some share that nuisance. The super tool is one time only. If I did the 97 balls thing again, I would get either a full cure or a full recover, which both of them are very useful. I am absolutely not farming them beyond the ones I need to kill. This is what that fight normally looks like. Well, actually, normally you have a gun. But, like, I'm a sicko, so we're here. Sweet. Okay. Use medicine 1. Cool. And get this. This is why I came back here. Medicine 2. I also feel that some newer composers have it easy. They just have to compose music and have to deal with the same limitations. Listen, that is also something that factors in. You used to have so much more limited music channels to work with. And that matters. That matters great. Like, that it makes it so much harder to do the thing you're trying to do. Again, I don't knock the newer people for it. It is, I am impressed by the limitations that had to be worked around. Just very, very clear. Alright. I'm going to... First things first, run back to the police station. Deposit the things I don't need. Super tool my... my stuff over. No. What we're talking about is limitations in terms of physically making things. So, so as a for instance, in anybody who composed, say, for the NES or the Game Boy, for instance, you would have a limited number of music channels, and very often you would have to share those channels in terms of sound design with things like sound effects. So for instance, this is the funniest thing ever. When it comes to speedrunning on Gen 1 Pokemon games, the reason why the current Gen 1 Pokemon Red speedrun world record is where it is because the record holder decided to go really risky and spend extra fights that were, because of how their HP worked out on things, at low health. So that there was the like the blink, the sound from being at low health in Pokemon Red. Why? Because of something called red bar that gets acknowledged, which is when your health is in the red, it plays that little jingle, or that little beep. The beep does not interrupt things, but the beep plays on the same sound channel that a Pokemon's cry does. So it means that the Pokemon don't cry when they're swapping in and out, which saves almost a full second with each swap out. Because they literally could not program the cry and the beep separately because they only had a couple of sound channels to work with. Cool. All right, we're leaving. Okay, cool. Let me go get myself settled with what I need to over at the police station, and then when I come back, I will go ahead and play you some Soken track examples. Like, I'll play you, like, 3 different tracks to give you an idea of, like, how wide-ranging his sound goes. Why? Thank you. I was like, give me my ammo I can't use. Okay, store item. This over. This over. This over. This over. Cool. Equipment. This over. This over. And move. No, I'm gonna keep this spare vest. I will, however, move over the Club 1 because I need it for what I'm about to do. And I'm gonna reload into this. Because I'm about to hit max ammo in my storage, and then there we go. Sweet. Now, tune-up weapon. Could I have a permanent? No, I don't want that then. Wait, do I have to do it the other way around? What's the save function? That's what I needed. Cool. All right. I don't want to do this out of order is my thing. Use a super tool. Boom. That's what I needed. Now, if I'm correct, Club 2 no longer has the skill. Club 1 does. Hell yeah. And so just like that, I just got a nice little offensive boost. I do feel Kirkhope should be included in there. He did too much work. Like, rare soundtracks are iconic, and he did a great many of them. All right. Okay. Now, before we continue, let's give you an idea of what Soken's working with. Okay. 15, let's go with this is a very, very popular raid that shows kind of more of the intensity kind of options, known as the twinning. What up, Absis? Go ahead and be pink. I'm glad. Okay, this is the kind of shit that gets you ready for a fight. But then, on the other end of... This is what Nuisance was talking about. A song that is actually known as Civilizations, but the community refers to as Lahi. You can assume why. Going through my Persona era. Which Persona have you been playing? Which Persona have you been playing? For real? I gotta show love for my boy Ryuji. Okay, and then... And then there's this, from recent raids.
No matter what
this is an
your
ad.
team does, Asana can help manage it. From project intake.
Would you believe this is a fight that takes place in a gladiatorial style arena? If you're sitting here saying, huh? Well, I don't know how else to explain it. You're basically facing like a funky chicken, man. But then Soken also, in addition to all he did for FF14, again, to his credit, Soken did give us FF16, which means we got shit like Find the Flame. This shit is 1000% in my workout playlist. What is there to take back, Nuisance? He's on your side. This is Find the Flame, and it was also made by Soken. I don't like Find the Flame very much. I disagree entirely. Especially contextually to when it is used in the game. Like, the fight against, man, I kind of want to go back and play FF16 again one of these days. I'm telling you, go work out. This shit right here will help you push through a fucking set of reps. I promise you. I promise you. If you're right at the edge and you just need that shit will help you push through a set of reps. I assure you. But yeah, using that during the fight to harness Ifrit. Top tier shit. Soken is super, super versatile in terms of what he brings to the table. No questions asked. Bam! Look at that. Before I was hitting for like 16, 17 damage. I'm now hitting for 31. I am not counting like crits. I am literally almost doubling my average damage input. That is why you need the super tool from that fight, because it's just such a huge upgrade at this point in the game. I'm gonna have to start popping medicine just to have space and such. Unfortunately, older games don't have as much proper utilization because of having to reuse songs. That's another thing. It's easy to make music for a specific thing. It's hard to make 130 that have to be Yes. 100%. That is why I was like, there are limitations that come with earlier games that should be acknowledged. I don't hold it against modern composers. I acknowledge it as a point in the favor of prior composers, which is why I said I 100% believe that there's a world where I could basically get to the end of it all and say, yeah, I do think Soken was the greatest. I think he's got the talent, he's got the juice. But it's just hard for me not to acknowledge, like, The same as, I said Matsuno, right? Oh, shit. Too many guys for me to... Nope. Get behind you real quick, because I don't want to be stiff. Son of a bitch! He fucking hit me into him, and then I got stiffened as a result. Well. I'll get it down to just one of them, and then I'll heal. Just to make it easier. I'll hit you once. Alright. Yes, you do get to see me as Bunny Bell. Also, thank you for the resub, Wizard Styles. I appreciate you. How you doing today? Good to see you. I will... Listen, I haven't made a post for it yet. I have put together a Ko-fi thing. If anyone hits ! Ko-fi. I will be putting a post for that. If anyone can boost it when I do, that'd be great. The TLDR is my job is such that, like, it has gotten me stabilized, but the period before I finally got the job was real fucking bad, to where I got into a big hole. And I've been trying to, like, get myself under control and all that, and I'm looking at the numbers, and it's like, hey, even with diligence, if I don't get any help, I don't know if I'll be able to climb out of the hole I'm in by next year. So basically, it is a goal towards the purpose of helping me solidify my credit cards and such to where it's like, okay, I can actually get my life back thoroughly under control. So, having addressed that, keeping it pushing. I just got back from work and I see the message version. The other thing about this clip I have of Anor being breedable. I am not breedable. I'm breeder. Don't take that out of context, man. The video evidence is AI. It's AI. You'll see the Sora logo in the corner. Don't believe Ondor's lies. Ooh. Anyways. But yeah, I don't know, man. I have strong opinions when it comes to gaming music. If you think it's AI, then why is the clip not deleted? It's because I want people to have a prescient example of the dangers of AI. And so I am sacrificing myself so that people can see this danger posed by this scourge to us all. If you really think about it, for the exact right amount of time, I'm actually a hero. Now, you do have to think about it for, like, literally if you think about it for too long, like, it's bullshit. So you have to think about it for the exact right amount of time that ends with me being a hero. I do need you to know. Shit! Hell yeah. I don't have enough space for another medicine too, so it's fine. I miss the balls. Don't we all miss the balls, Besta? Don't we all? I think all of us are just sitting here missing the balls. Back in the day. In the day of the balls. I'll gain some defense. I will leave this for now. I will never forget the balls. Please don't forget the balls, Wizard Charles. If there's one thing, folks, this is important. We've had a lot of laughs here today. You know what's not funny? Forgetting the balls. If you take away nothing else from these streams, take away this. Remember the balls. The world is better when you remember the balls. Oh, we're going to the 13th floor, of course. Not to be confused with the 3rd birthday. Which is the only Parasite Eve game I haven't played, and TBH, I'm not sure if I'm gonna play it. Because I have heard nothing but the worst reviews of that game. And, like... I had heard nothing but the worst reviews of Parasite Eve 2, and guess what? Those fuckers were right. Everybody who told me Parasite Eve 2 wasn't as good as Parasite Eve 1 was right. I cannot stress enough. See, here's the thing, Besta. The reason why you're doing that and you're having a great time is because you remembered the balls. They're takoyaki balls, but they are balls. Fucking hell. I don't know. Basically, it's just like... I think when you get right down to it, what really needs to be acknowledged is balls is just a really funny word. Even balls. Just balls. Just say it. Just like, really, really, roll it around in your mouth a bit. You know, roll balls around in your mouth a bit. It's getting very satisfying. Balls has a very satisfying mouthfeel. Correct. Also, should I revisit FF Tactics Advance? I had trouble with it because of FF Tactics experience. As in, you're saying, like, you're asking if you should revisit it because, like, you had trouble in the sense of, like, being able to enjoy it because you played Final Fantasy Tactics? I'll be real. Is Final Fantasy Tactics Advanced as good as Final Fantasy Tactics? No. Is it a good game? Yes, objectively. I'm sorry, it is. It is a good Game Boy Advance game. Okay, it just is. And, like, I don't really feel it's debatable. It's just not as good. But it's still good. It's a good time. Especially if you can get your hands on, like you can put it in your phone, obviously. But if you could get your hands on, like, obviously you can, if you have a Game Boy Advance to walk around with it, anything like that, obviously go ahead. Beyond that, if you can get your hands on, like, a portable emulation device or something like that, to where you can kind of play it the way it was meant to be played, like, on a handheld device and everything, I think it is one worth the time. Yeah, no, it's not that anybody else doubted. I specifically was like, I don't know that I would call myself that. And then my entire fucking chat collapsed on me. Is it balls time? It's almost balls time. First, it's get rid of these fuckers time. Then it's balls time. The advantage is, compared to before, I am now guaranteed to 2-hit KO these suckers. And that makes such a difference in terms of the fight. Oh shit, that's right. When I crit, I can actually one-hit KO them. Which means this fight is world of difference, because if I can stay in flow state here, and time it right, I can essentially avoid the hunt part of this. Of having to, like... Yeah, this is why I said it's 3 or 4. In this particular room, because of the size limitations of the room, only 3 form at a time. You see how much easier it is now that I've got worthwhile stats and such, or worthwhile attack? Becomes super easy. Okay. Cool. Sweet. Listen, in my defense, I'm not a big fan of trains. So, I thought that disqualified me. Turns out that I just replaced trains with 3 out of 4 varieties of ancient Chinese literature. Trains like the vehicle, goddammit! What would a balls train even look like? Don't fucking answer that, you degenerates. Fucking nobody's trying to ride the balls train. I'll tell you that right now. That out. A little bit of timing efficiency. I can get that. Also, if anyone sits here and argues that they are in fact trying to ride the balls train, you're banned. I don't judge, I will ban you, just out of principle. Ride the balls train on your own damn time. And stop accusing me of wanting to ride the balls train. What rant? A rant about a balls train? What do you want me to rant about? The balls train? Fine. Let's discuss how nobody should be on the balls train. First of all, it just sounds like really inefficient in terms of spacing. Like, it's gonna be difficult to get all that room on the balls, right? Okay. The whole point of rant is you're supposed to pick a thing for me to rant about. And then you were like, this feels like the perfect time for a rant. It's like, yes, as I discussed the balls train. Oh, thank goodness that did no damage. Bang. Oh, this sucks. This sucks. I hope that doesn't screw me. Alright. Actually, I have something I can rant about. Hey! Fucking losers. It is a known quantity. Josh likes boobies. This is an established scientific fact, right? Okay, cool. Good. I'm glad we're all on the same page. Cool. There's a bunch of fucking losers out there who are talking about Atsu from Ghost of Yotei as being designed with activists in mind. And that if, like, there's an image floating around of like, what if she was designed with gamers in mind? Y'all, Atsu is based on a literal, actual fucking human. Specifically is based on the design of, like, the appearance of her voice actor, Erika Ishii, who is really hot. Like, so here's where my actual rant is. I say this as someone who is thoroughly known to enjoy boobies. People don't have to have boobs to be hot. Maybe your brain is just fucking fried. From all the gooning. But like, literally, actually, they do not have to have a porn star rack to be hot. Just cannot stress this enough. Also, cannot also stress enough that in the picture they showed, like, they created, it's like designed with activists in mind. You see Atsu with like just a fucking massive. What does that have to do with anything? Just a fucking massive bazongas. With like the robe pulled apart and like there's no bra, there's nothing holding them up. I'm like, okay. I understand that none of you losers has ever fucking like held a boobie. Or like probably even seen them in real life. That's not how tits work. That's just literally not how they work. I don't have any other way to say it other than that's not how they work. They don't fucking work like that. Because there is this thing, you may have heard of it at some point in your pathetic ass fucking weak ass life. It's called gravity, right? It is one of the primary four forces. It stops them from doing that. Anyways, point is, I am fucking begging y'all to expand. Not y'all as in you, because anyone who's in here, I don't think anyone in my community is enough of a loser to feel that way. But I'm fucking begging people to expand their definition of hot to not just include porn stars with truly, like, gargantuan tits. Because I don't know how else to explain it other than there are other people who are hot out there. Oh, hold on one second. Hello? Yes, why? No. No, I'm streaming. Just a second. Okay. Also, not for nothing, the other thing I will crack on for these fucking losers out there, at some point, you need to learn how to tell more than one joke. Ghost of Woke is not even a fucking good joke name for it. Like, forcing that word in everywhere was already cringe as fuck. It's even cringier when it's not good going in there. Alright, that has been my rant for the day. I mean, I can do more rants, especially if people redeem for me to do rants, and especially if they have anything specific they want me to rant on. But that's just been like... That is... I've seen that floating around. I'm like, this is the most unsexed behavior I've ever seen in my fucking life. And I say that with full knowledge of people who are willingly ace, and who, like, they just do not... They are actually, in fact, repulsed by sex, and yet they are still less unsexed than that. I need you to be clear. People who are, by their very nature, repulsed by sex are less unsexed than these fucking losers. Yeah, boo. Incels are different than asexual because incels can't get laid if they tried, and sexual people don't really care about... Exactly. Well, here's the thing. The sad point is, like, incels loves to be like, they can't get laid. They're involuntarily celibate. No, you're voluntarily celibate. And that's because the fact that it is with 100% within your control that you have a personality akin to a fucking used diaper. Like, there is something to be said for physical attractiveness. Yes, that can affect the number of options available. But I promise you, there is someone for everyone out there. Like, there is someone who finds basically anyone either attractive or at minimum, like, acceptable. And as soon as they at least find you acceptable, you're in there like slimwear if you're not a loser. Because someone, like, it's just about being listen, I don't know any other way to say it. I'm just gonna say it. I am, in fact, able to get someone to be attracted to me. I am not, like, despite all evidence to the contrary, I am not the most handsome man to ever exist. Okay? That's Pedro Pascal. Or Idris Elba. Guess what? I can still get people to be attracted to me. You know why? That's because I have, I don't know, a personality and the ability to carry a conversation and interests and hobbies and just, I'm not a fucking loser. All things within my control. You can just choose not to be an angry loser. Like, you can do that right now. You can wake up tomorrow. For every insult, they could wake up tomorrow and choose to have a personality and choose to not be just a worthless loser. It's kind of like, listen, folks, here's something not a lot of people tell you. You can train yourself to be funny. Comedy is something that does absolutely come natural to certain people because it is a thing of rhythm and timing and an ability to read the room and respond quickly and so on and so forth. But comedy is a skill that can be trained because it's about reacting to things. It is about learning how to make certain observations. It is about tempo and it is about timing more so than it is anything else. You can choose to be funny. You can choose to learn to be funny. And funny goes a long fucking way, let me tell you. It was 97 balls. I was right. I knew I was right. Hell yeah. Big level up. The full cure is the big one here. Full cure is all status removal? Yeah. Having a couple of those in the end game is very handy. Inventory is full. Okay, cool. I will use one of my medicine 2s to get a medicine 3. Sounds like a good trade to me. I will drop the Cure P. Get a tool. Inventory's full. I will put a medicine 2 here for a rifle. Nope. I will put the rifle back. I'll come back for it for all I care. I'm autistic AF and I learned a form of comedy. Listen, again, the whole point is like comedy is a teachable skill. It is about timing. It is about rhythm. It is about knowing when to say things, when not to say things, how to say things. There is so much you can do that is within your control when it comes to comedy. My headphones just died. Means it is a practicable skill. There's a reason why people take improv classes. There's a reason why people do seminars. Hell, if we can be honest, there's a reason why comedians swipe jokes. Or swipe joke styles. Or things like that. Now, some things you can't pull off unless you know what you're doing, because so much of it is dependent on the person doing it. Give me 1 sec. Okay, I wanted to make sure my headphones were charging. Some people you cannot properly copy because their style is so very ingrained with them and with their own personality and delivery and so on and so forth. It is the reason why, like, despite any jokes about it otherwise, like, it's really hard to do Robin Williams because, like, plenty of people would do the oh, and then just like say some batshit insane shit. But the reality is, Robin Williams, better than 99% of people who ever lived, understood the timing and the rhythm of a moment. The zaniness played into it. His comedy was rooted in high energy. But ultimately, it came down to the ability to call out the timing of a moment. That matters. That is 100% where it comes from. It's also why I have this long-standing argument with people that damn near any comedy actor can do serious dramedy. Serious drama, I should say. Drama actors being able to do comedy is so much rarer. Because they know how to pull from emotion, but they don't necessarily know tempo. And comedy is 1000% about tempo. So when you see Robin Williams be able to absolutely horrify you and shatter you in 1 hour photo, it's not really shocking. Because he knows the tempo of a scene. And he has to know, you know, human connection, essentially, in order to be able to deliver comedy. So drama, not that far off. Damn, I need a crit. Oh, beautiful. You know, if anyone's ever seen Stranger Than Fiction starring Will Ferrell, actually a good movie. Really not that surprising. You know, the problem, however, is that a great many times these actors and actresses are given the chance to flex their muscle and be a dramatic lead, and then people don't want to accept them as a dramatic lead, and so, you know, it becomes a thing where people are like, oh, but I thought it would be funnier, oh, but I thought it would be this, oh, but I thought it would be that, and so you can't properly appreciate it, audiences can't properly appreciate it. Because they were expecting something totally different from that performer. But there are, if anything, I will say there are certain performers where, if anything, I wish we got to see more of them flexing that muscle. I will go to my grave upset that we never got a proper Chris Tucker drama film. And, like, maybe we'll still get it at some day, but I know that motherfucker can act. I know it. I know it. I've seen it. I know he could deliver a fucking Oscar-worthy performance. I don't have a doubt in my mind. Meryl Streep is one of the few dramatic actors who can truly, genuinely do comedy. And that's because she's trained herself. Like, she is a Juilliard baby. Juilliard? I want to say Juilliard. I may be wrong about that. But Meryl Streep 100% can. But I'll tell you what, I don't know if Chris Tucker thinks he can handle it. Even if he can, I don't think he... No, Beste, here's the thing. I don't know if he does. And I don't know if he would want to be clear. He may just genuinely not want to. And again, totally okay. Completely fine. It is totally fine if someone doesn't want to do a thing. But I know in my bones that Chris Tucker could carry a performance by himself. It's the reason why I want to go see him. In addition to it being a Jordan Peele film, and that man is truly gifted in terms of cinematography and theming and everything else. As soon as I heard it was coming, I was like, oh, there is 0% chance that, what's it called? There is 0% chance that Marlon Wayans does not deliver an absolute banger performance. There was never a doubt in my mind. Keanu Reeves was Ted. Keanu Reeves, I will actually, say he is another example of a serious actor who is able to do comedy. But then there are lots of actors who people view as serious who are actually comedians. Spoiler alert, folks. Tom Hanks is not a serious actor. Tom Hanks is a comedic actor, and we got to see how fucking amazing he was when he did Philadelphia. And then everyone's like, pause. And now we realize, oh, Tom Hanks is truly just a gifted actor, regardless of the medium. But Tom Hanks' bread and butter, where he got his calling card, is comedy. Okay, he started with Big, and what's it called? Not Sleepless in Seattle. What is the one I'm thinking of? It's gonna piss me off. The mermaid one. I thought Will Smith could do serious drama, then I saw him try a few times. No, he can. He can. The problem, where Will Smith's failings come is, very specifically, they struck lightning in a bottle with Independence Day, where it was not him necessarily being, like, he was the foil, but it was still a serious movie, but it was so successful. And so they kept trying to go with, well, the formula is put Will Smith in the big summer blockbuster. Will Smith can carry drama. Source, The Pursuit of Happiness. Okay? He was also great as Ali. The problem is they keep trying to do shit like Hitch, like I Am Legend, where it's less about, which mind you, he did not do bad in I Am Legend, but it was weird. They were basically they kind of tried to position it once again as a big summer blockbuster, which to a degree it was. But if they wanted to be successful, they should have pitched I Am Legend as like Will Smith's Castaway, right? Because for so much of that movie, it is just Will Smith by himself, carrying scenes, carrying moments. Down to the main human character loses his best non-human friend, and it is heart-wrenching for reasons that it's hard to quantify. That was how they should have positioned that movie. But again, it's about marketing, and it's about Will Smith is in the big summer blockbuster. iRobot's another example where good moments, Will Smith himself does not do terrible, though he does absolutely play Will Smith. But the focus was on the action instead of being on, hey, this is actually kind of an introspective bit on the rise of machinery, on losing our humanity to current marketing trends, and our acceptance in giving everything to convenience, which I actually kind of just went on a whole thing about on Blue Sky, talking about how the rise of convenience culture has taken so much from our actual culture and how it's affected the next generation and so on and so forth. But yeah, Will Smith can carry movies as a dramatic actor. He just, again, they specifically keep trying to go back to the same well they went with in Independence Day. And it's like, hey guys, Independence Day was a movie that worked because of when it came out, because of the combination of Will Smith's zaniness and Bill Paxton's excellent performance. Bill Pullman. Whichever one of them. The one who was in Casper, not the one who was in Twister. Bill Pullman. Bill Paxton. I can't remember which one. But it's like there's a number of factors that went into it. It's not just, oh, we gave Will Smith a leading role where he was dramatic but got to be a little funny, and that's why it worked. It is so much more nuanced than that. Paxton's, yes, so it was Bill Pullman who was in Independence Day. Really, the end issue is that Hollywood keeps having success stories and then taking the wrong lessons from it. And that's how we end up with the movie industry in the state it is now. Which is... everything is by the numbers, and it fits one of very, very few molds. And because of the nature of what Hollywood bookkeeping is like at this point, we don't get experimental things anymore. In addition to my convenience culture is going to be the death of our culture as we know it, as presently constructed, rant that I did the other day on Blue Sky. Another rant I have and I feel strongly about is going to the movies nowadays sucks for kids. And it actually makes childhood noticeably worse. And a big part of that is because we have gotten rid of Dunstan checks in. Now, this is very much so one of those theories that I firmly believe and that people hear and they go, what the fuck are you talking about? And I promise you I have a point. Growing up, we had Dunstan checks in. We had Slappy and the Stinkers. We had, Buddy. We had all these movies that were meant for kids, that were mid-tier movies. They were not, Little Rascals, Little Giants, even if they had, any sort of person in it. They were not the big Disney blockbuster, right? Whether they were animated, in person, whatever it may be. We had that. And now we don't. If you go look at the movies nowadays, really what we have for releases year by year is we have whatever tentpole Disney Pixar release, a tentpole DreamWorks release if there is one, or Illumination nowadays, especially with, Mario and all of that. And then indie shit. We really don't get to have the movie that has the $20 million budget and one name that parents might happen to know. Where it's just wacky and there is... Because Dunstan Checks In was a movie that was made knowing that maybe we'll break even on box office, parents will pick up the VHS after the fact, and then we'll be fine and we'll make our money back, and it's good. It was not a movie made with the intention of making $100 million. It was a movie made with the intention of, once we hit to VHS, we are going to make back our money, plus some extra. We're good. You cannot make a movie like that anymore because streaming has eradicated the VHS/DVD part of the formula. You have to make all your money essentially on the theatrical release. The mid-tier movie, as a result, is gone in terms of kids. It is replaced by indie animation and things like that, which there's plenty of great ones, don't misunderstand me. But that cannot replace the entire sector. So that's why if you go look at movie releases week by week in, say, the 90s or the early 2000s, there would be things that would appeal to kids/young teenagers essentially at minimum once a month because of what the movie industry was like. And people would space things out, trying to avoid their opposition, specifically to drop the mid-tier things in there, and so on and so forth. That is not the case anymore. Not by a long shot. And it sucks. I went to take my kids to see Bad Guys 2 the other day, and it was I literally had to look for which theater nearby, because there's 2 theaters within 30 minutes of me. I had to look for which theater are we even going to be able to still watch it in, because in one of them they weren't even showing it anymore. And so our only option on that Saturday for a kids movie, other than that, was fucking Howl's Moving Castle on a Studio Ghibli big rewatch thing they were doing. There was no other children's movie available. And sure, The Bad Guys 2 was good, but what do you mean we're at a part of the year where there's literally, if you are at the wrong theater, you better hope that they're doing a re-showing of a 20-something-year-old Hayao Miyazaki film. or else your kids aren't gonna have a thing to watch. That's a problem. It's really stupid. And I'm sure someone will pop up, well, not everything has to be for kids. You're damn right, actually. We agree there. Not everything has to be for kids. It's really weird that we're driving them out of things where we used to give them a focus and attention. It's like really fucking weird. Like, it's just really weird that we don't let kids be kids anymore. Because we're too busy, you know, co-modifying. There is, I did the whole thing, like I said, on Blue Sky, talking about the loss of things to convenience culture. But as an example, arcades. The nearest arcade to me, if you're just looking for the lock, stock, and barrel, like, by the books definition of an arcade, would be, there is one 30 minutes south of me is a Dave & Buster's. Outside of like 2 or 3 shooters that they'll have lined up, and it's like the big kind of shooter, literally every game in there is for people to try and get like tickets to trade in for things. Like fighting games aren't in there. You know, beat 'em ups aren't in there. And I get it, that's because they're not really making them anymore. But it all kind of dovetails into each other, because why would the arcade industry still flourish when arcades aren't as popular? Right? Like, those things are linked. Same thing goes for the video store. And I had someone who really tried arguing with me that, like, streaming isn't the reason the video store died. It's like, fam, Blockbuster may have been on the way out prior to Netflix and streaming. Or it may have been on the downturn, I should say. If you think that streaming wasn't the killing blow to the video rental industry, I just don't know what to tell you, but you do not have a good grasp of cause and effect. Like, Blockbuster was 100% affected by streaming. It was already being affected by things like Netflix's mail service and Redbox and all these things. Yes, I fully agree. Like, that is absolutely the truth. But streaming is what killed it. Those options are what really impacted its ability to survive. But then if they focused in what they did, limited their, like, if streaming never exists, right? If our options are going to the video store, buying videos, things like that, or going to Redbox, Netflix mail-in service, this, that, or the other, trust me, there's still people who go to the video store regularly because they don't want to have to wait for mail to come in. They want to just have the ability to go to a store and get things. It'll affect their bottom line. It means there will be fewer non-Blockbuster stores. You know, you're not going to have as many video thunders. And also, there's going to be, you know, in addition to having fewer opponents, there's also going to be fewer Blockbusters. All of that is true. But the business would at least have survived had streaming not existed. because there would still be a market for it. The market for video rental basically doesn't exist anymore. And yes, streaming is 1000% more convenient. And I use it. I understand anyone can come to me and like, yeah, well, you stream. Yes, it's very, we should improve society somewhat. And yet you participate in society. Like, sure, you fucking got me. Good job, well done. But like, at day's end, there are experiences. It's like, it is the combination of things. The whole thing where I said convenience culture is making things worse in terms of our kids' lives and culture and everything else. It is not one individual thing. It is the collective. It is, by and large, more convenient. I cannot argue that. And certain people need it. There are people who are disabled, who are literally not able to have the convenience of going to a Blockbuster or going to an arcade or things like that. And yeah, this benefits them. I'm not saying it is purely negative either. Like, I'm trying to apply nuance to a discussion. But it's like when you talk about the video store, right? It used to be as a kid. You would go to the video store, you would look around at all the different games, you would look around at all the different movies, and you would have to search out for the specific one you were going to rent, which means you went and looked around, and all of them, you had to like learn about the different things that were available almost by rote to make sure that you could pick the right one. And then because you only got one, you had to make the most of it, whether it was watching a movie, whether it was, you know, playing a game, whatever it may be. And so, as a result, they became more impactful. I tell the story plenty of times about how I got my hands on Shaq Fu, and that was because of a guy who sold me the copy, sold my mom the copy, I should say, but basically convinced us instead of renting for only a few more dollars, we could buy some of the stock they were getting rid of. And we gotta check out this Shaq Fu. That's the big one that really, yeah, come on, it's Shaq. He's such a big deal. I loved Shaq. I loved basketball as a kid, so hell yeah. And I was fucking flummoxed. I was bamboozled by him. But you know what? I still have the memory. It doesn't mean, and mind you, as an adult, now the memory is funny. Like as a kid, it's like, okay, this game wasn't the best game I could have gotten. And there are plenty of people like, well, you could have missed out on an amazing game because of it. Sure, I have a memory. Nowadays, however, that memory doesn't exist. A kid goes to look on PSN, sees if there's a demo. If it is, downloads it, plays it for 5 minutes. If it sucks, deletes it, keeps it moving. That's just, like, it doesn't happen. It also means the kids aren't giving certain games a chance because it's not grabbing them within the first few minutes. Like, there's knock-on effects of every single last one of these things. I'm not saying it's all better. I'm not saying it's all worse. I'm saying it all plays in. And when you factor in the totality of it, when you factor in the totality of, we don't have malls that are worth a damn anymore. Like, there's a handful that are left. The video rental store as a concept is gone. Arcades are basically gone. There's a handful of them. And of those that remain, a huge number of them are barcades, and so kids can't take part. The roller rink as a concept, there's a handful left. And you generally have to drive to all these things. Like, it all adds up. And collectively it sucks. Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut's another one. Because they used to have, I understand that, like, and nowadays it's like, well, you couldn't have a buffet, people would just da-da-da. You understand you can't, there are very few Pizza Huts you can even just go to and sit down and eat in. Forget the buffet. Forget the buffet part. Just the concept of going to a Pizza Hut and sitting down and eating is gone because their whole business model now relies on Delcos, as they call them, which is delivery carryout. They shorthand it to Delco. You're hard-pressed to find a Pizza Hut that is still in business that has a functioning dining room. Because the whole point is to drive people in to buy something and get the fuck out, buy something and get the fuck out, buy something and get the fuck out. And so we're getting rid of all the spaces where they could do something other than buy something and get the fuck out. And that includes kids. And that sucks. It really, really sucks. Because here's the thing. When society leaves its kids to just be, like, left to the wayside, society is literally inevitably always worse for it. Because those kids grow up. They grow up to be adults, man. And we're left with the scraps of whatever sort of life we gave them. Anyway, this is just me rambling. I know it's old man in the yelling at clouds, but I wish my kids could have the experiences growing up that I got, and it's sad to know they won't, you know? And it's sad to know they won't because Reagan decided to release every fucking restriction ever. And so every single thing in the world is built around making shareholders as much money as humanly possible. And if you are not making all of the money, it is not enough money. It is not about making money, it is about you have to make all of the money. It is why the video game industry can talk about having record profits and in the same phone call talk about laying off over 1,000 people when they're talking to their investors. Because hey, it's not about making money, it's about making all the money. And anything less is not enough. If you haven't made every possible dollar, you failed. And I don't know, I just feel like maybe that's not a good system. I saw this video and I showed my mom. And I was talking to her about it. And I was like, this video is entirely my argument for why we need UBI. And I was explaining to her because she was like, well, where's the money going to come from? And I was explaining to her how literally everywhere they've ever tested UBI, it makes money. It makes the government back money because that money goes to the artist who can focus on doing art, but they're spending that money on their bills and on goods and services, which means it goes back into the economy, and then people are spending the money they have on that art, and so, like, it's a self-fulfilling cycle to where there's more money flowing around the government that all gets taxed, and so it always makes money. There's literally never been a time they've done UBI and they were like, this was a disaster. It's literally always like, for every dollar we spent, we made $1.48 when we did all the math. Every time. Like, every functioning society that takes care of its people is better off for it. But that's besides the point. Basically, I was using the argument where I was explaining, like, this video is proof of why I think that we need UBI. And it was this guy he goes by, Spray Graffiti Scott, I believe is the name. He's a Scotsman. He makes art using spray paint. And the video itself was about 2 minutes. Even if you're being generous on how long he spent doing little things in between where he, like, made cuts in the video, he probably spent about 7 minutes collectively on what he did, which is with nothing but a can of white spray paint, a single paintbrush, and a credit card, he made an art picture of a graveyard in a window. And it's beautiful. And it took him like 7 minutes. Maybe. That's me being generous with saying, like, the trees really took some time because he cut away the most for those and just basically over-exaggerating what they might be, right? And basically what I'll explain is, like, here's my thing, and it's my hot take. There are certain people, I just don't think you should have a job. It's not about an inability to have a job. It is, you do something so cool and so good and so unique, you should just be allowed to do that because you have a gift. And you should just be allowed to do that gift. And I don't know. I feel like maybe we should live in a world where we encourage that. Where we encourage people to just be able to use their gifts to make beautiful things that all of us would benefit for having. And like, call me crazy, but when every single time we've tried it, it shows, hey, we get more beautiful things in the world and we make more money than if we didn't do it. So it is literally only a positive. There is no part of it which is negative. There are more beautiful things in the world and we make more money. Every single person involved wins. The only person who you could argue loses are miserable pricks who just insist that everybody should be as miserable as they are because of the fact that they don't have that particular gift and they're not sure of any other gift they may have, and so they have to work. It's not even hurting them. It's just the fact that they don't have the same thing. That is the only person who is not actually helped. And so if you want to argue because they are not helped, they are hurt, sure, someone is hurt by it. Every single other person is helped by it. But we can't do that. Because it is in some way not seeking making all of the possible money. Even though technically it is. But it's because they're not being used in the machinery that makes certain people all the money. So we're here. Focus on you still. Hit one more, and then heal, and then go for the remaining hits. My only gift is useless for jobs. I wish I could pay Jeff to help people like a superhero. Listen. I think every gift matters. Whatever it may be. Maybe big, small, in between. Every gift matters and makes the world, like, flatly better. Medicine 2s, because I don't want to get rid of any stat boosts, and I don't want to get rid of any armor or anything, so... Cool. It's 30. Inventory is full, swap out of Medicine 2, cure... No, God, no. Well, actually, no, that is worth holding on to. Okay. We check here. What is this? Inventory is full. Oh, fuck. Drop another medicine too. Cool. What is this? Why the fuck do I want junk? I don't remember there being junk here at this point. I hope I didn't fuck something up by not having an open inventory slot. key. Cool. Alright. Am I gonna try the spider boss? Yeah, let's try it. Let's see how it goes. I could farm for more full recovers if I wanted. Oh, perfect. So now I've got rid of the key. I can come over here and I can grab that. Which one am I going to want at base? Definitely the... resist poison, specifically. I don't know that it uses poison. I think it might just use stiffness, if I remember correctly. But let's try it. Okay, here we go. Well, you saw, like, how much easier it is now that I've got my club upgraded and everything, and it's in that room. It would basically be fighting in that specific room I just bought. That by fighting there, I can specifically get full recoveries. So, it takes a little bit of time, but it's not as bad as the other ones. It takes like 15 to 20 minutes. So if I was to do that, it would be like, let's just say it took an hour. I could do like 3 fights. It would be a bunch of experience, which would obviously be handy. And then I could get like 3 more full recovers, which could be super useful. But instead, we're gonna go try it. Let's do the damn thing. All right. Let me just heal one. I'll be fine. Here we go. Here's what makes Spider Brain so hard. You have such a specific attack radius, and one of its major moves inflicts stiffness on you, which is really annoying and hard to deal with. God damn it. Come on. Ow. Come on. Okay. 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 If I had resist stiffness, it would be so goddamn handy right now. But I just straight up do not. Okay. Nope. Damn. Can't f with you while you're there. Okay, cool. 3 instances of heal 2, and then swap armor. As long as I have enough for 3 instances of heal 2. And if I don't, it's gonna be close. Yep, just barely. And then swap armor. And that will allow me to regain some shit. Cool. Awesome. You have to be so fucking close to hit him. Hit her. Hit it. Hit this bitch. So taking a few hits is... I'm 100% okay with using the armor swap glitch against... Fuck! I wanted to heal before going to next phase. You automatically get thrown into the next phase. Shit. Heal 3. Okay. Okay. Keep up the assault. Oh, if we could first time, boys, this would be fucking lovely. I think what we do is we stay running, because my restoration rate is still high. Until I can heal 3. Heal 3. Jesus Christ. And then we swap armor real quick, and then get back in. Okay. Here's me speaking my truth. Anybody who wants to judge me for using the armor swap glitch in a fight where you have such a precise range in which to attack. That's your first time, boys? Oh, shit! Woo! Damn! Hell yeah! That is... Alright, doing better than I thought. Alright, cool. Now there's cutscene, and now we have to do a thing, because Eve is like... Meow. And she's going to do some shit to the fighter pilot. He's turned into goo. Which now means I have a fighter jet fucking careening towards me. And so now, if you take too long to figure out what to do, it is game over. I will tell you now, what you have to do is come over to this part of the roof. Which I'm going to, real quick, heal 2, and heal 2, and then come over here. You have to run over here and jump onto this. Then, this happens. If you don't do that fast enough, this cutscene happens and you die. Game over. The fighter jet just kills you, which I have done that spider brain fight so many times. That's how I was able to... See, it's still alive, by the way. That's how I was able to first time it. But that is... I know I made that look at least somewhat simple. That is probably the single hardest fight. Single hardest boss in this run, in the base run. In my opinion. So, hell yeah. Oh, now I can stop this. Boof. By the way, this is another thing. If you don't kill that spider fast enough, you just game over. So anyways, having done that, we're done with the hospital segment. Thank God. Next is the Chinatown and the sewers. In terms of major segments, there is a side thing I can do over at the warehouse, which I will end up doing because it's worth it for the experience and everything. But the Chinatown / the sewers is next, which by the time that is all done, we will have our Club 3. And then after that is the museum, which is the last real, like, notable arc. And then there is the final battles. Then we get on to New Game Plus. And in New Game Plus, we will take on the Chrysler Building, which is 100 floors of fuck you. I don't have any other way to describe it, man. Store item, and I'm going to store the Cure M now that I don't know if I need it. Certainly going to store the full cures and the full restore. Full recover, excuse me. And the stat boosts. And the tool. And the full cure. And oh, sort. Cool. Cool. Store equipment. We're going to store this. And then which armor do I actually want to keep with me right now? Probably the SP jacket and the B vest if I'm going to keep two. I don't even know that I'm going to keep two. No, I'll just keep the SP jacket. I'm good. I don't really need armor swap glitch in the sewers. At least I don't think I do. And even if I do, I should be able to find some shit. Cool. Cool. Now I have 10 open slots. I'm saving up all of my BP, because if I can get to the end of the game with all of my BP, I can convert it all into like points into my club that will go on to the Club 3 to just increase my damage, which is 100% worth it because the Club 3 gets transferred over into a new game as my ticket to being able to access the Chrysler Building as soon as possible. And then I can be transferring over those boosts onto the Club 4 and so on. I'm still geeked that I beat that first try. I honestly was like, this is going to be a death, but let me see how it goes. The fact that I beat that first try, and it wasn't even that difficult, means I still got it. I still got some of my skills. Because that was the fight that just was the worst the first time I did this shit. The absolute worst. Cool. Skip through all of this. Save progress, yes. Awesome. Now I just need to do it on a dance pad. Right. I need to do it with like a potato controller. Being controlled with my mind. Okay, yeah. I have now unlocked all these places. Chinatown is the next place I'm supposed to go to, but I can go to the warehouse and do things and get things. And I'm in fact going to go to the warehouse and do things and get things, but I'm gonna come here and I'm going to... Actually, there's no point in me saving here. I just saved. So, I'm gonna cut it off here. I will be back... I don't know. When? I would say tomorrow, but I think Wednesday will make more sense for me logistically. Let me look at something real quick. I'm not trying to overdo it now that I'm back, to be clear. And just do like, oh, I need to do a bajillion and one streams. Like, no. 2 weeks. 7. Yes, I'll be back Wednesday. Wednesday afternoon, I will continue. We'll pick up from here. On Wednesday's stream, we will handle the warehouse. We will handle Chinatown. Both. And then we'll probably be able to get to the beginning of the museum at minimum. And set ourselves up to where Gideon, his team did not win in the playoffs. They put up a good effort. They only lost by 4 points against the team that I'm guessing is going to go on to win. It was a very, very close fight. It was a real battle. And there was a couple of plays that... There's literally about 3 plays that if they happen differently, we win. It is what it is. But as a result, football is over. Next Saturday, or this Saturday, I should say, he has a birthday, so I'll probably be streaming earlier. But I will be streaming on Saturday. And so Saturday, we will definitely finish this run, get into New Game Plus, and Sunday we will continue from there. So, thank you all so much for hanging out with me, for bearing with me as I go through things, for being around. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all. Until next time. I'll catch you later, fam.